We're going to go to the graph here and look at lesson 12, how to write the equation of a line when we are given the line. Well, real quick, the equation of a line, once again, is y equals mx plus b. That's your equation of a line formula. And so I'm looking at example 12.1. This is example 12.1. And what it gives us is 3 lines. Previously, we've dealt with it giving us the numbers, and we saw for the equation of the line. And this one, it gives us the line, and it wants us to write the equation of it. Pretty easy lesson, very simple. Let's look at line A first. This one is vertical. It's straight up and down. Well, if this is our origin right here, what we want to do is, notice it is 3 to the left on the x-axis. Remember, this is the x-axis, left and right. So if it's 3 to the left, what line A would be called is x equals -3. X equals -3. And that'd be your answer for A. So we did that one. Next we look at line B. Well, line B, similar to line A, it's simply horizontal, left to right. Start at our origin. I count down to find where it's crossing along the x or the y-axis. Clearly this one's going to cross the y-axis. So I'll go down 1, 2, 3, 4, and notice that it is at the -4 spot. And so therefore line B would be y equals -4. And that's all you do for A and B. A and B is pretty simple. Now, most of the time, you're going to have lines like line C. It's not always going to be as easy as A and B. So when you have line C here, there's different ways to solve. But just so you're an equation of a line, remember you always need the m. M stands for slope. And you always need v. V meaning the y-intercept. Those two things give us the equation of the line. So let's see if we can figure out the y-intercept just looking at the graph. Well, in this line, we actually do see that it crosses the y-intercept or the y-axis at 3. 1, 2, 3. So therefore our b equals 3. Okay? So I can put y equals, I'll put mx plus 3 not to confuse you. But we know that b is +3. Intercepts the y-axis at 3. Now we look at the slope. We need to find the slope. Well, what you can always do is you can count. I'm going to show you the other way in a second, but you can count. And when you count, you would figure out your slope, you would figure out your rise over the run. And so my rise is how much it goes up and down the y-axis. Well, if I go up 1 and to the right 1, 2, 3, I see that my rise is 1 and my run is 3. So therefore 1 over 3 would be my slope. I would replace it here. If I went down 1 and to the left 3, that would be -1 over -3. And -1 over -3 is the same as +1 over +3 because 2 negatives equals a positive. Now, if it wasn't as easy as counting it, because sometimes it's not always easy, remember for the slope, you can find 2 coordinates where it crosses. So for example, this is a coordinate on the line and it crosses at kind of this T, and the graph is what I can see. So that coordinate is 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. That coordinate is 3, 4. So there's one coordinate on the line. I can find another coordinate. Well, we know 3, 0 is a coordinate, or sorry, 0, 3 is another coordinate. And you could do your slope formula of y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 to solve for that. So if it's not as plain as day, then you can use that and solve like we previously have. But that is how you find the equation of a line when given the line graph.